All right, as we're doing a deep dive this morning on the Kuzure Kesa Gatame system, where the objectives, the overarching objectives from the curriculum are to be able to demonstrate the system, to know the names of the moves in the system, and to know the translation of the Japanese terms. We have the five parts of the system, which are what? Correct. Kuzure Kesa Gatame, Muni Gatame, Ushiro Kesa Gatame, Tate Shi Gatame, and Judo Gatame. Now, Kuzure means what? Modified. Kesa means what? Scarf. Gatame means what? Muni means what? Breast or chest hold. Gatame means what? Ushiro means what? Reverse. Kesa means what? Gatame means what? Tate Shio Gatame translates to what? 4-point or 4-point vertical hold. And Juji Gatame is arm what? Entanglement, arm entanglement hold. Okay? Now, we're going to do a deep dive on the Kuzure Kesa Gatame right now. So what are the key points of this of Kuzure Kesa Gatame? Now, before I want you to answer, I want to tell you this. This weekend, I had an opportunity to train with a young man by the name of Tate Piccolo. I used to train his dad, Brian Piccolo, and he's getting ready for the under-20 world team trials in wrestling. He wrestles for Oklahoma. And we were watching a lot of videos. And one of the videos that we watched was a match between Michael Foy and Randy Couture, which is a Greco-Roman match. And then we kind of did a deep dive on hand fighting, and we ran against an interview with Michael Foy when he was talking about his kids. Michael Foy is a 2-time Olympian from Greco-Roman wrestling. And he said something that was superb. He said there's 3 things you need to focus on when it comes to grappling. The 3 important things. See, those 3 things are position, position, position. That's it. Position, position, position. All right. And from what we demoed earlier, the key is just, it's not necessarily going to the next move, but making sure you can maintain the correct what? Position. So in Kuzure Kesa Gatame, what's one of the key things to making sure that you maintain your position? Pressure. If we don't got nothing else in here, we understand pressure. Pressure. Listen, one of the key points is pressure. What type of pressure is it? It's called what pressure? What do we call it? Third what? 3rd point pressure. 3rd point pressure. 3rd point pressure was drilled into my head hard by a guy by the name of Lloyd Irvin, Master Lloyd Irvin. It was almost every practice. 3rd point pressure, 3rd point pressure, 3rd point pressure, 3rd point pressure. And I had no idea what the hell he was talking about when I was a white belt, blue belt, and purple belt. When I became black belt, I understand. I was doing 3rd point pressure, but I didn't understand 3rd point pressure. All right. Even the quote in the Bible speaks about get wisdom because it's the principal thing, but in all I get understanding. So you're picking up the wisdom right now of 3rd point pressure, but you don't understand 3rd point pressure until you apply the wisdom over a period of time. And then you can see how miserable 3rd point pressure is when you're applying it to somebody else. Yes. And sometimes it's miserable for you, but it's more miserable for what? For them. So one of the things is 3rd point pressure. Now, what is the other thing in Kuzure Kesa Gatame? As we start to drill down, what do we need to control? Excuse me? You need to control the arm, which is if you draw a square around the upper body right in that place, because you're going to hear these terms all the time. If you draw a square around that place, we need to control the what? The upper what? You need to control that upper quadrant. That upper quadrant needs to be controlled first. Before you move to Muni Gatame, before you go to Ushiro Gatame, before you go to anywhere, when you're in Kuzure Kesa Gatame, that upper quadrant needs to be controlled. That upper quadrant. All right? Now, what's in that upper quadrant? Correct. Within that upper quadrant is the arm. All right? The way that one of the major ways that the person gets out is I don't care if it's Muni Gatame, Yokoshiro Gatame, or what they call in Jiu-Jitsu, the side mount, all right? For them to get out, they need to get that elbow between you and them and start framing at the hip so they can shrimp in. Correct? Okay, Solomon, my man, move over here for me, please. You're down on the ground. Radi, you're on top. Solomon, move over here, my man. Please, Solomon, right here. Okay, Radi, exactly. So the upper quadrant, boom, boom, this space right here, all right? What Alex needs to do is Alex needs to shrimp get his elbow in this space. All right? And he needs to start framing to get his other hand in front of your face. Correct. Now, when this happens, Rod D, in order to control the upper quadrant, you go from the sleeve to the what? To the lapel. And you pull up and turn his what? Go back. Pull up and turn his head. Correct. And then knee to the ear. Boom. Knee to the hip. And then slide the knee that's by the hip back up. And then pull the arm back up. Moving yourself back into what? Kuzure, Kesa, Gatame. Back into quality position. Come back. All right. Once again, move over this way a little bit more so people can see the progression. Put your head this way. Good. Again. So you pull up on the arm. All right. Mr. Alex shrimps to come in. Grab the lapel. Pull up. Turn his head. Correct. Knee to the ear. Knee to the hip. Slide the knee back down the hip. Pull back up on the arm. Absolutely fantastic. Perfect. Now, that is important because if you start trying to move to the next point without having control of the first point, then everything goes downhill. It's like if you're trying to build a car and the constraints start getting loose as you go through. By the time you go to do the car at the end, everything is rickety and all over the place. Make sure that every step is calibrated tight before you move to the next what? Step. A lot of individuals get so caught up in getting to the submission that they bypass the most important thing, which is what? Control and establishing the what? Position. Because position is greater than what? Position is more important than submission. If all the positioning is right, the submission will be right. And if all the positioning is right, especially the way that we practice Newaza and put the importance on Osakumiwaza, you don't have to worry about the submission. The submission will handle it what? So the submission will handle itself. Does everybody understand? So we're just doing a deep dive right now on the Kuzure, Kesa, Gatame. The other point that I didn't go over that I want to go over, you understand what I'm saying, Solomon? Yes? Is to make sure that you control that shoulder with trying to get that leg underneath that shoulder. That leg underneath that shoulder will give you a little bit of an advantage when a person is trying to plant their foot and turn in. Once again, Rodney, show what I mean. As a matter of fact, Alex, do it on Manny, please. Try to get your right leg under that shoulder a little bit. Correct. Correct. Just jam it under the shoulder a little bit more. Boom. Now, in order for him to shrimp, to get in, shrimp, let him shrimp again and go. Shrimp, get in. When he shrimps to get in, then your hand is in the collar right away. No. That's the second one. Before you block the brush. Just get your elbow in. Hands in the collar. Pull up, turn the head. Turn the head and pull up. Knee to the ear. Absolutely fantastic. Now, come back. Let's go to the second one. So the second one is, we're more advanced now. This is what happens. We got a micro drill first and micro drill second. We're more advanced now. So when the person gets the elbow down, then they begin to frame at the what? They frame their bicep frame at the shoulder. They create a circle of life, all right, which is what we call it. So if you're on top of me, Mr. Alex. I have no circle of life right now. All right, what I want to create is this. I want to turn, get my elbow in, hand comes here, recreate a circle of life. All right. Now, the escape that I have two. I have one if I'm in Judo, I just go turn down and get out the pin. And then we have the other escape, which is the one that I like to use, is push, and I turn what? I push and I turn away. Come up on my elbow, and I come over. You okay? That was a loud pop for the camera. Yes. Yes. So by the time this happens, when he loses the elbow, the first thing he wants to do is he wants to go to the what? Lapel. But I'm blocking him now when he tries to go to lapel. I'm blocking him. I block, and before I make this turn, he needs to be swiping his arms. I'm like, oh, swipe arms, knee comes to the ear. That's miserable. That's miserable for my shoulders. Okay? And his knee should be the ear, but if he puts his knees in my ear with my arm across, with that pinch I'm going to get in my shoulder, it's going to be a bad deal for Ferguson. All right? So come back. So we're going to have Mr. Manny come down so you can do it properly and bring the arms all the way over. Let's move back a little bit. Here we go. So now Manny shrimps in. Boom, he starts creating a circle of life. Right. Now, Manny, go to make the turn. No, not that way, the other way. Exactly. That is what I do. You swipe the arms across to get them off your shoulder so you can get back into what? But let's dial it back so I'm not specific. Back into what? Quality what? Back in the quality position. Absolutely fantastic. And then when we get here in the Munigatami, stop. We're not going to go over Munigatami right now. But when we go to Munigatami, we can move away from the Kuzure case Gatame system, and we can start moving into what system? We went over it yesterday. From Professor Lord Urban, moving to the mousetrap system. Correct. We move into the mousetrap system. Boom. You move into the mousetrap system. I don't over teach the mousetrap because the best video is online for it. Right. And you watch it? Yes. And everybody should watch it. And I've watched it several times. I've had people watch it. Now, in here, we call the mousetrap, also call the mousetrap system the Udi what? Udigarami system. That's the judo term for it. So you can call it the mousetrap system or it's the Udigarami system. And the Udigarami system has steps. The Udigarami system has steps. The mousetrap system, what are those steps? It's just a cyclical 3-movement situation. What are the 3 moves? No, that's what you do. You encircle the arm. But the first rule of the arm bar, of any arm bar, the control arm, you create the circle. It's either a circle of life or a circle of what? Death. Right. One or the other. Once that circle gets created, it's bad. Even with Kuzure Case Gatame, once I create the circle, wham! If you don't break the circle, it's death. On your backside. All right. So we have what? We have Udigarami. Ude what? Udigatami. And Ude what? And Udigarami. For my jiu-jitsu people, those 3 movements are, I don't like using the word, the Kimura, the Americana, I don't even know what they call the other one. It's like straight arm lock, but this Udigatami. Understood? Now, if during this sequence, which could happen, unlikely at heavyweight, but it happens at lightweight, they put you in the half guard when you're doing this. Then this moves you into another system, which is called the KTS, which they call the Kimura Trap System, which Marcos and David Avalon are experts at it, as well as a gentleman by the name of Rafael Lovato. All right. There's a Kimura Trap System. All right. One leads to the next. Now, what you would hope, and what we learn, and then I told you we're doing this at the regular level, honors level, and AP level. We're going AP level in the Breakfast Club. At the regular level, none of this stuff is on the board, and even the class, is it? No, they just get this. All right. On the AP level, we have to ask ourselves, if the Kuzure Case Gatame system goes bad, what do we do? Well, the Kuzure Case Gatame portion of it can't go bad, because if it goes bad, we don't have any what? We don't have nothing. So if you don't do anything else, always lock in the what? Kuzure Case Gatame. If you don't feel comfortable with going to the Munigatami, if you don't feel comfortable, stay Kuzure Case Gatame. Just stay. If the building is falling on them, if you stay in Kuzure Case, if I stay on top of you for 40 years, that's called marriage. No, just kidding. You need a good joke for the case. You have to have a good joke. Right. He said, okay, all right. If I stay on top of you for 40 years, you're gonna die. Right? If I stay on top of you for 20 minutes with that level of third point pressure, it's gonna be super uncomfortable, or you're gonna have to make some type of movement, either the right way or the wrong way. But every movement that you make, I'm countering and putting you right back in here until you get a little bit weak, or you start to get fatigued, right? Cuando tienes fatiga, yo puedo hacer que todo. So once the Kuzure Kesa Gatame starts wearing them down, then we walk you into what? Muni Gatame. When we get to Muni Gatame, we're not going backwards. When we get to Muni Gatame, we're staying tight Muni Gatame. Tight Muni Gatame. Now, the Muni Gatame moves us into two systems. It can move us into the Udigarami system, and it can move us into the Kamishio Gatame system, which is also called the North-South system. It's a North-South system. And inside of that North-South system is Katate what? Jame. Because what happens is, go down. What happens is, and I'm going to cut this because we're just going to focus on Kuzure Kesa Gatame, but I want to give you, in quality educational fashion, I also want to show you where we're going so that you know why we're doing what we're doing. I don't want to be the type of teacher that says, just do the math because it's math and we got to do it. I want to show you where the math is going, how it relates to accounting, how it relates to making money, how it relates to, you understand what I'm saying? I want to show you why we're doing the math. Remember, this upper quadrant is the most important. So I'm in Kuzure Kesa Gatame, Kuzure Kesa Gatame, Kuzure Kesa Gatame. Boom. He moves his elbow inside. I'm here. I'm pulling up, turning the head. I come here and I come here. Boom. I'm essentially in what now? Muni what? Muni Gatame. Now he's doing such a good job. I can't tuck yourself on your right side good. Get your elbows down. I can't get the elbow. So I've lost the elbow over here. Understood? So I've lost it. So now I'm just gonna come over to this side. I still need to control that side. This is when it's right. So it comes here and I walk. I come underneath. I come underneath. This is where you see me move to Kamishio. I move to Kamishio. He still has to turn in. You do that, you're gonna put yourself in a high motion situation. But go ahead. See this? Boom. I'm coming here. I'm turning in. Now you see my right hand? It's starting to come underneath where? The body nice and slow as I create the pressure. I don't have my arms not long enough to get all the way to the back of his collar. I don't necessarily need to. I come back, move myself back to Katate what? Jame. I still gotta control this upper what? Once if he doubles down hard, all right. Pardon, my mic went out. If he doubles down hard and he turns all the way to his side, then what we do is we jump to this next arm for the what? The Kimura on this side. For Udigarami, right. He doubles down because we're here. I'm here. Put the hand across your face. He doubles. Yeah, the big cross your face. Boom, I'm here. Moment I'm back into the Udigarami on this side. There's also another portion where when I'm here, he gets your elbow in, and he starts turning in hard. He turns in hard. Man, he turns in super hard. I turn. Boom, when I go to the other side. We can, if he turns in, if he doesn't, then we start what system? Our clock choke system. It depends on where he puts us. Now, there's a lot more steps to that I haven't gone over, but I just want to let you know the Kuzure Kesa Gatame system branches off into other what? Into other systems, as it's supposed to do. That's why I teach the systems the way that I teach them, because they're all interconnected. All right. First and foremost, what we're doing with Kuzure Kesa Gatame, because if we don't maintain that, then we have nothing. Is we get the Kuzure Kesa Gatame, we establish 3-point what? We establish upper quadrant what? We establish upper quadrant control. That's what we're doing. Off of those 2 possible escapes that they have, getting the elbow in and the other one blocking the bicep. Oh, let me go over this. I always want to give people credit. All right. So come on out, Solomon. Manny, you're down. You're in Kuzure Kesa Gatame. When he's blocking the bicep, that arm bar that we go to, thank you. When he's blocking the bicep, he gets his elbow in, boom, he blocks the bicep. You swipe the arms across, right, knee to the ear, boom, and then you windshield wiper the leg. Then you step over, and then you sink back and just bring your right knee up when you go back, and finish the arm bar from right there. I got that exclusively from Daniel Camarillo, David Camarillo's brother. David Camarillo used to be Daniel Camarillo's brother, but when David started working on John Wick and everything else, and now Daniel is David Camarillo's brother. That's how that works out. All right? Everybody understand? Yes. All right, let's get on it. 1, 2, 3, let's go.